Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Ant Green Show Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Rahshawn, aka Mr. Greenheart, and we have a special episode for you guys today. Today is episode number 10 of season one, which is our final episode of the season. It's been quite an experience putting this show together and having these co-hosts, these great hosts that have been with me, and we've had a lot of discussions, guys, and some really funny moments, and also some good times to share. Some insight regarding what the sports world has been putting out, more in particular the NBA and NFL. But there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. So we've reached our season number one finale, episode 10. And in today's episode, we will be basically giving you guys a quick recap of some of the things that were highlights for us in all of the episodes past. What are things that stood out to us most? Um, and then we're gonna obviously touch on the NBA Finals, which I'm not sure for most people, but it definitely was entertaining, but maybe not the storyline that we saw playing out. So definitely gonna have some nice quick discussions on that. And last but not least, we will, of course, do our speed round trivia game where our co hosts will be answering not only trivia, but I would say also this or that would you rather type questions to get more of an opinion based answer rather than just a straight answer and give you their take on what they think is right. Um, so without further ado, guys, we're at episode 10. I guess I'll start with Harris on this. So Harris, what are some of your thoughts being on a podcast show? I know you said you were on one previously with some friends, but regarding the show that we did here, what were some of the things that really stood out, or what did you like about the season one that we did?
Yeah, first and foremost, thanks for giving me the opportunity to come on your show and be a part of it.
Oh
Truly
man,
appreciate that. Yeah, I think really what I enjoyed about doing this podcast compared to the other ones, everybody was respectful in their opinions, and everybody gets a chance to speak. You're not really speaking
yep,
over people, and you're not yelling at each other. Yeah, I've done some before, and you can't even finish your sentence. People are just jumping in on the arguments, and I don't know, and certain times it starts to get heated, and here it was all friendly. Like, yeah, we got into some, I wouldn't say heated, but like, yeah, they were intense, but at the same time, there's a
healthy
boundary.
discussions. Yeah,
Yeah, healthy discussions of the boundary of respect all around between Jelanie, Kenton, yourself, and myself.
yep,
So I
yep,
really enjoyed that, and just getting together with people, um, that I know, grew up with, and just talk sports. So we all love sports, so to
right,
get together and talk about it, especially during the peak of the pandemic when we're not doing anything anyways, right? So why not
for
just
sure.
get together, talk sports and stuff? So I enjoyed it thoroughly, and even though this is the end for season one, I'm definitely looking forward to continuing on in season two.
Yeah, absolutely, man, and it was a great pleasure to have you with us. And yeah, no, for sure that it was a good timing to start the show, I would say, because yeah, there really wasn't much going on, and then sports was kind of bringing like coming back to life in a way. So it was good that we were able to cover some of that.
Yeah.
I guess I'll swing it over to Jelani next. So Jelani, season one in the books for you, coach. You're on a show, you're coaching. What are your overall thoughts about the experience?
My first time doing, obviously this is the first time, participating at the podcast, and I think it
Yep,
was pretty interesting per se. It was great to, of course, reunite with you and Kenton, especially. You've gone way back from like what 20, 25 years
yeah, this
since we were
is
like, in camp. So
yeah,
it was good overall to get a perspective on everyone's different opinions on certain things, especially trashing LeBron and whatnot. But at least for most part, on for me, and just the honestly, I was very impressed, and I was very entertained by the way Kenton was trashing the Orlando Magic. I thought that was pretty hilarious, and with Harris making fun of Russell Westbrooks.
Oh
But
yeah.
like I said, just the overall experience, it's great. I love it, and
yeah, yeah.
I'm looking forward to season two. And it's just great to be on the show, guys.
Absolutely, man. And it was great to have you on. We had some really good moments with you, but coming from a coach's perspective, it was good to have you on the show because you've actually coached. So we're getting a coach's lens on it. Like we're all sports fans to begin with, but you actually still being around the sport like competitively from a coaching standpoint was a really good thing to have. So it was a pleasure to have you, man, and definitely, yeah, looking forward to some more good stuff to come. I'll swing it now last to Kenton. And Kenton, yeah, just give us your take, man. What did you think about this podcast season 1 and any highlights of the episodes?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good season overall. I mean, it was my first time doing a podcast myself. So that being said, it was a lot of hiccups in the beginning. Overall, just trying to get used to that environment and kind of do things in a more organized setting. Exactly, especially virtually. But definitely, it was a success in my opinion. I think we all did pretty well. I think we all showed a lot of improvement from episode 1 to episode 10. It was good to really get together and have that barbershop type environment and really, swing some ideas and really pick each other's brain on different things and see things from a different perspective. It was definitely, for me particularly, it was good because, I mean, for everybody, I think it was a great idea. It was a great timing too, because it was, as Harry said, it was during the height of a global pandemic and we really couldn't do much. So it was a way to kind of like really socialize and talk to other people and get involved and interact with one another. So yeah, we had some highlights of the season. Definitely the Orlando Magic rant. Funny enough, they traded away half their team the weekend later. I guess they're listening to what I was saying the whole time. But anyway, water under the bridge. But yeah, it was definitely a good season. Definitely looking forward to season 2 and appreciate you having me on the show, for real.
Absolutely, man. It was great to have you. And yeah, man, you never know who this gets to. Whether anything got to the Orlando Magic front office is one thing, but it's good to get unbiased opinions. We're not getting paid by any major network. We're really just doing this because we're big sports fans. So the fact that we were able to reunite, it was a good way for us to keep touch. And then also to talk about sports, what was going on for an NBA, NFL draft, even leading into next season. So definitely nice to have you on board. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's been quite a season 1, and we've definitely progressed a lot. So I'm happy to see that and to see where we are now. But yeah, guys, so we'll switch gears now and we'll go into the NBA finals. So I can't remember everybody's full prediction. We'll have to pull it up, but it looks like the Milwaukee Bucks got the job done. And yeah, it was a memorable finals, but I guess not the storyline everybody expected. So maybe I'll start with Jelanie here. Jelanie, what were your thoughts on the finals, man? And just give us some of your feedback in terms of what you saw.
Well, honestly, I expected Phoenix to win because of the way they were just playing team basketball. And of course, Chris Paul, 16 years in the league. This is the closest that he's come to a championship, and it's unfortunate, that they lost 4 straight. But I give all the credit in the world to Milwaukee, especially Giannis. He's not one of the best shooters out there, and it just goes to show that you don't need a super team to win a championship. But then again, I'm just saying other people think otherwise. But you have players like Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, PJ Tucker, Brian Ford, Rick Lopez, DiVincenzo. These guys are not like all-star players.
Good role players.
Yeah, it reminds me of the 95, 96 Bulls. But again, I don't want to get into this whole thing. I'm just saying, from my perspective, that Milwaukee deserved to win that championship as much as I wanted Phoenix to win. They just didn't have an answer for Giannis. So, who knows what's going to happen in the offseason and whatnot. But no, it was a great finals. It was intense.
And you think any hints of Chris Paul coming back? Just to get your take on that, you think Chris Paul might come back, or you think the window's closing for him, so he needs to just find the best opportunity?
Well, he did say he's not going to retire. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but he did say that he was not going to retire. Now, of course, there's links to LA, because he's good friends with LeBron James. But I hope he goes back to Phoenix. I think, Phoenix is a great spot for him and whatnot. If he is intent on not making a super team, I think Phoenix is the best spot for him to, run it back and chase another championship. So
awesome.
We'll see what happens.
See what happens. Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted Phoenix to win, but like you said, the dominance of Giannis was really it became too much. And then with those good role players playing to their potential, they didn't have to they didn't have to have breakout games, although there was like some breakout games from Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. I think Brook Lopez had a 30-point game, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
in the finals.
But mind you, Phoenix has a roster. They're very young and inexperienced, so that also played a role in them not winning the championship.
True. We'll swing it to Kenton on this one. So, Kenton, what were your thoughts on the NBA Finals?
Well, my initial prediction for the NBA Finals, I didn't think Giannis was going to play all these game 3 or 4, so I had Phoenix winning.
Right.
I mean, in reality, I feel like Phoenix kind of they did what I projected them to do. They won the first 2 games even with Giannis there, but they still managed to lose 4 straight. So I mean, that kind of that kind of
where's that guy?
But
for real, no, I hear you.
But honestly, I really thought Phoenix was going to win. They play a better. I mean, leading up to the finals, they played better team basketball. At the same time, I mean, look at Milwaukee, and they've been around for the last. I mean, they've been a top team in the East for the last 4 or 5 years. So I mean, I'm not. I mean, although I'm surprised they got to the finals, I'm not surprised that they ended up winning because, I mean, that was kind of like what they were supposed to do. That's what we've been kind of looking for them to do in the last few years. I mean, outside of the LeBron James and the Golden States of the world, but they've always been the top team in the East. I think now they just kind of got the right players and put it together. But if you look at the rest of the roster, I mean, look at Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez was a pretty good player when he played on the New Jersey Nets. You know what I mean? He was a pretty solid player, and he played well when Giannis wasn't there. So I mean, especially the last 2 games against the Hawks, Lopez and Holiday really stepped it up and really showed you what kind of team that they can be without Giannis on the floor. So I mean,
very good point. Yeah,
you can say they're not a super team, but at the end of the day, a lot of the there's some guys on the team that are getting superstar contracts. You know what I mean? Like Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. These guys are getting they're not getting peanuts. But at the end of the day, it was an entertaining finals. It was an entertaining playoffs, aside from the injuries, of course. A lot of different injuries on different teams.
Sure.
Would have been nice to see a full healthy 16 teams get into the playoffs, but I mean it never really works out that way. So I mean, aside from that, it was nice to see some different teams in the finals. The small market teams showed up, and I think it was good to see.
Yeah. I want to ask you quickly, do you think Chris Middleton, after everything now, would you give him a superstar badge? Like, is he a superstar in the league, or is he a good all-star? Because a superstar, all-star, I don't think a lot of people realize that there's a difference. Yeah. Most all-stars, you could get lucky, become an all-star. You could have a good start of your season, have an all-star, but not really, play well in the playoffs. We've seen that from a lot of players. So just quickly before we swing it to Harris, would you consider Chris Middleton, after everything now, a superstar athlete or an all-star basketball player?
I wouldn't call him a superstar just because I feel like he's not superstar. It's like what you're going to get every night. I feel like Chris Middleton, he'll have, a 30-point game, and the next game he's going to have like 10 points. You don't get that from superstars. LeBron James doesn't give you a 30-point game followed up by a 6-point game the next day or the next game. There's a certain level of expectation that superstars offer. Even James Harden, he's not the type to, he averages 27 points a season, but he's not going to have those games where he gives you like 10 points, you know what I mean, where he disappears. Superstars are always going to have an impact on the game. And I feel like although Chris Middleton's an amazing player, I mean, he's definitely an all-star in my opinion. Great closer, good at the end of the game, 100%. I just don't feel like he's on that superstar level yet because I feel like with superstars, what you're going to get every night.
Yeah, good point. No, you're right. And he's on his way there, but he definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Proved his worth. You were on to jump in, Jelanie?
Yeah, sorry, before Harris Johnson. Sorry, Harris. No, you're right. He might not be a superstar, but I find that this whole series, the whole playoffs, I find that Middleton was a major factor in why they got to the finals because he stepped up when Giannis couldn't. So
right. He gave them very timely scoring.
He steps up when Giannis couldn't, and if you look at the end of the games, it's not Giannis really taking those shots to those clutch shots. It's usually Middleton taking those shots.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'd like to see a little bit more consistency out of him before I can really put him in that next tier.
Same thing with Drew Holiday. Didn't put up great numbers in the playoffs, but in a clutch,
showed up.
He came through. Yeah.
No, I hear you on that. We'll swing it to Harris now. Harris, I believe you chose Phoenix as well, if I'm not mistaken, right? You had Phoenix. Did you have Phoenix?
No, I first of all, the entire playoffs for me were a dud. I don't think I got one series predicted correctly. But actually for the Bucks and the Suns, I did have the Bucks winning. That's where my money was on. But I mean, it means nothing.
Okay.
I was wrong on every other thing. I just thought like the Phoenix, they played an injury team in the first round, Davis and LeBron. Second round, no Kawhi Leonard. Third round, I think Donovan Mitchell was out. So I'm not going to say they had an easy path, but I mean, they played a pretty healthy Phoenix, Milwaukee team, and Giannis showed up and he had a great finals. And one thing about Giannis, which really stood out, like you see this guy, he airballs a free throw, but then he's looking to get back to the line. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't stop him. Like it doesn't phase him. And you look at Ben Simmons, he misses a free throw and he's scared of the ball. Like
taking no shots. He's actually, I mean, he's a playmaker, but you need him to especially if he's under the basket, his size, just
yeah,
it sucks.
There was I don't know what game it was. It was game 1 or 2. It was in Phoenix, though, one of the games they lost. Giannis shot an airball 3, and then the next possession, he comes back and he tries it again. He's not, and that's good about him. He's not scared of that moment. But yeah, it was a great finals performance too. This guy really stepped it up and helped take over some games, especially that clinching game. We all watched that. I think that was great, 50 piece, and going to Chick-fil-A after and getting the 50 piece.
Thank God he got 50 points, man, because the Chick-fil-A 50 piece was perfect for him.
Yeah, and as for Chris Paul, honestly, I think I think LeBron needs to call up Chris Paul and he needs to call up Melo. Get Kuzma out of there, bring Melo off the bench. Help your boys get a ring, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do, man. So
I'm sorry, I can't hold it in. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah, because honestly, I think it'd be great if the Lakers got either Chris Paul or Westbrook. But if I had to pick, I would say Chris Paul, because I think him and LeBron would just mesh together like no tomorrow. And I know Melo's far-fetched. I'm just saying that because I like Melo, but Kuzma's got to go. I mean, if Melo's available, bring him. Off the bench, he's better than what you're going to get from Kuzma. So I think that would be good. But yeah, all in all, good finals, good playoffs. Kenton and Jelanie were touching on. Obviously, you don't like to see injuries, but great for the NBA. Two small market teams make it. I think. Boston, LA, New York, Chicago, the big teams in there. So to see
Golden State's up there now as a good franchise.
That's it. So to see two small cities or marketplaces to get in there, I think that's great for the NBA. And Bucks are the defending champs, and they want to come back and do it again next year. And hey, listen, until someone beats them, you can't discredit them.
Right.
So let's see. I mean, what's going to happen next season? And it was great to see. And speaking of Holiday, he played well in the finals. And then today, for Team USA, this guy was one of the top performers today too. This guy was playing
top scorer. I believe top scorer.
This guy's coming off I know, but these guys coming off partying, 72 hours before the championship parade, flies to Tokyo, and this guy was the best player on the court.
Yeah. He's proving that Milwaukee's investment in him was the best move that they could have made for Drew Bledsoe. Plus, he, like Jelanie said, he didn't have the craziest stat lines, but he showed up when he needed to.
Especially those steals, the defense.
And he's a defensive all defensive player. So I mean, that's
and it wasn't just that Game 5 strip, right? It was he had some other plays too in Game 6 that he took the ball.
He got 2 good steals sometimes off of Booker or whoever it was, and just most of the time converted them fast break points, but always. And he's I don't know how he's 6'5" or something, 6'4", but he's guarding pretty much all the best players, you know what I mean? So both ways. Did he make an all defense team, all NBA defense?
He was first
at some point,
okay.
I think he was all defense this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was all for. I think he was. He was a first team all defensive player this year.
Yeah, that really is big because if you have someone who's playing both sides of the ball, like him, and he's pretty much doing everything as a playmaker. So, but Jelani, did you say you had something you wanted to throw in with
Yeah, all
regards
this
to
talk about
Harris?
Milwaukee begs the question: what are the chances that they come back to the finals next year? What do you guys think?
Good point. Whoever wants to jump in,
I
Personally,
think
I
it's a
think
good
it's
chance. I mean, if any,
yeah.
like, sorry, go ahead, Kenton, go ahead.
No, I was going to quickly say. They've been great for. They've been a good team for the last like 5 6 years. They've always been at the top of the East. The only team I really see standing in front of them right now, looking at the East, is really New York, the Brooklyn Nets. Because I mean, if they were healthy, there's no way in hell they would have been
Yeah,
in the NBA Finals this year to begin with. So I mean, it comes down to what Brooklyn does this offseason and who comes back, and if they can stay healthy throughout the year. I think as Brooklyn's conference to lose at that point.
I like New York. I like New York's chances though.
man, New York is
I don't know. The New York, they're not a joke, man. The New York's not a joke, man.
yeah, they've made themselves a destination again.
Yeah.
They might be a piece or two, and like they might need still like I think a Robin to Julius Randle, or maybe a Batman and he becomes a Robin. But I feel like, especially with what Giannis proved, like I don't know. Do you guys consider Milwaukee's big three a legitimate big three? Like I feel like a big three is like
No, I don't.
two
It's funny.
No.
bona fide superstars. It's not a real big three, right? It's more of like a Batman, Robin, Giannis, Middleton, and Drew Holiday's like
The Butler,
Malcolm in
Alfred.
the middle. Like he's just there, you know?
It's
Yeah.
just Giannis because he can't really shoot from far, so he's like one dimensional. So it doesn't really, my personal opinion, it doesn't really
Yeah.
work for me. I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree, but
No, I think well the fact that Giannis did what he did, being the type of player he is, the free throws, like Harris said, airballing free throws, airballing threes, still having the guts to do it, and not doing it with a quote unquote super team, and kind of like we don't even think that he has a real big three. Would you guys say, and I think, well, Shaq already said that he gave him the Superman tag, but did Giannis bring a Shaq level dominance to the playoffs? Or is that too much to say? Because a Shaq level dominance is like, you guys all know. Because, I mean,
yeah,
Yo, he did. You think about it. This
Shaq
guy,
gave him the
they
crown.
can't.
this guy's blocking shots. He's scoring without shooting a jump shot. He's getting to the rim, points in the paint.
When
Like,
he
this guy
drives, you can't
dominated.
stop him.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
stop him.
Yeah, especially the Euro step. What? It's three dribbles from 90 feet, and this guy scores the basket. Like,
I think sometimes they even sent like 3 defenders on him.
yeah,
Didn't they call something like the wall of Giannis or something?
the Great Wall of Giannis.
Something like that.
Yeah. They
I
do
read an
make a wall.
article.
It's like
Yeah,
it's kind of like how Jordan had the Jordan rules, but like it's just really simple. Like just make a wall, make sure you're like a foot away from this guy, and still outstretched arms, all of that. Gonna be interesting to see. Good question though, Jelani. Will they make it back to the finals? I honestly think that I think they're gonna stay atop the East if they keep that core. I think the only player they said they might risk losing is Bobby Portis, and I don't know.
But no, this guy played good in game.
Bobby Portis, like
He did play good. He hit big threes when they needed it, and bit of a crowd
play for
energy
Knicks?
guy. Huh?
Wasn't he a Knicks guy?
Yeah, he's an ex-Nick. That's
Oh,
what he
that's
plays.
right. There you go. Basically.
All kinds of teams, this guy, man. Like,
Bobby Portis.
this guy's an NBA friggin'
Travel
this guy's
man.
an NBA wheel, man.
Sorry, Rahshawn, last thing I want to add before we
Yeah.
continue the segment. Also happy for Coach Budenholzer because I think it was like he didn't have a contract extension, and if they didn't win, he was going to be out of
Saved
a
his whole
job.
career.
Yeah, saved his career.
Honestly, I'm not even sold on him. I think he should still get fired because
Yeah,
my
I
opinion,
know, but listen, I agree.
still
No
get fired.
respect. That's a championship coach.
No, but honestly,
Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year and got fired the same year, so he should. In my
Yeah.
opinion,
He's
he
right.
deserves to get fired.
Yeah. But the thing is,
He
the
deserves to get
championship
fired.
brought him another 3-year extension easily.
Yeah,
so
minimum.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I'm not a big fan of him, but obviously the chip saved him for minimum 3 years. So
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
True.
He should have been. He should still be fired in my book.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like teams have figured.
What more do you want?
Yeah.
I feel like he has no. He's not like. I don't know. I find when it comes down to making adjustments, Like Budenholzer is one of the worst coaches in the NBA.
Yeah, no, not a,
Just,
yeah.
and he has a game plan. If it's not working, it's not working. That's it.
Yeah, but
There's no
at the
game
end of the
plan
day,
adjustment.
he won the
There's no
championship, so
adjustment.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But because they played a team, okay,
Yeah.
that couldn't figure out Giannis. Okay, you look at the Raptors. They figured out Giannis. They beat him. You look at the Miami Heat. They swept them last year. They beat him.
Yep.
Okay. This year they barely lost. They lost because they won because Kevin Durant wears 2 sizes too big of a shoe than what he's supposed to. Did you know that he wears 2 sizes too big because he likes the feel or some crap like that, or he wears a size bigger or something? He's like a size 14, but he wears a size 15 shoe.
Sounds like a waste, man.
If he wore a size 14 shoe or whatever the hell his size foot is, the Milwaukee Bucks wouldn't even be in this conversation right now. They'd be home.
It's
You know
true.
what I mean?
Oh well.
But it is what it is. I just
Yeah,
feel
it is what it is.
I just feel like Budenholzer's he's not a great coach when it comes on to making adjustments. If his game plan doesn't work, that's it. He packs it in. And
No,
he's
I think Quinn
waiting for
Snyder of the Utah Jazz needs to get fired. Come on, man. We're number 1 seed, and
I know, but
Hey,
Utah.
that sounds viable.
I know, but Utah
Come on
like
now.
a San Antonio
hey,
situation.
there's other coaches out there. Like, come on,
the
man.
thing is, you've seen Utah has progressed every year under Schneider. They've gotten better every year. I feel like Milwaukee's just they just managed to play the right teams and the right things happen in their way. You look at who they played. Look at who they played to get into the finals. First of all, the first time they played Miami, who put all their eggs in, and Victor Oladipo, who wasn't even available come playoff time.
Yeah,
then in the second round, they played Brooklyn, who didn't have James Harden. Well, they had a James Harden, the ghost of James Harden, whatever that was. It wasn't him. They didn't have Kyrie. They had Kevin Durant pretty much playing for his life. And he almost squeezed out the series against you guys or against the Milwaukee Bucks.
But Kevin Durant should have won that. You see, LeBron doesn't lose series like that, Jelanie.
Oh.
Yeah, just saying. Like LeBron took a bum of a team in 2018 and won a game 7 on the road in Boston.
And then he went on to play the Hawks in the Eastern Conference Final. And they almost had you guys on the ropes, but then Trae Young got hurt. Okay, so how many breaks do you need to get? This guy needs to get fired, man. I don't give a damn. NBA championship or not, this guy needs to go. This guy literally is on borrowed time. Like he literally lucked out from round 1 all the way to the NBA Finals. And then the NBA Finals, they played a healthy team, yes, but they just couldn't figure out Giannis. So Giannis got hot at the right time. Because if you look at the previous 3 series, Giannis didn't really do much except against Miami, who was hobbled. You know what I mean?
Jelanie, Quinn Snyder don't get fired, man. In Utah, it's like the Spurs, right? They don't fire their coaches; they build the culture and they let it ride for like.
That, and also they've shown progression throughout every year, so that's not a reason to fire that coach. First of all, if you look at Utah, they overachieved this year. They were not a true 1 seed. I think we all can agree to that.
Well, I mean,
I also agree that again, you don't need a super team to win a championship. Maybe LeBron should follow Giannis's. Maybe LeBron should follow Giannis's blueprint and figure it out next year. Because I don't know what to tell you.
I know, but Durant.
I guarantee you, barring any serious injuries, Milwaukee's not making it to the Eastern Conference Finals next year. Never mind finals. They're not even going to get to defend their crown because they're not going to get it that far. But they won't even make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
But you never know. I don't know. We'll see.
It's pretty shameful, Jelanie, that Kevin Durant couldn't get that team to the finals.
Hey, I don't agree. I didn't like Brooklyn Nets anyway. I didn't want them to win. So
literally, Kevin Durant almost beat you guys. He had you guys on the ropes because they were up 3-2 by himself.
Yeah, KD, he was playing for his life, like Kenton said.
That's bad.
Coming off a torn Achilles, guy. What y'all got to say about that? Man dropping 50 on you guys by himself.
Yeah, he had a historic playoff run on his own. I guess that just leads into the next point before we touch on the speed round trivia. Just to throw it out there, guys, what are you guys looking at for next season? I guess we could even focus on football, really, because the NBA is kind of hard to decide because you got to go through the draft, which is coming up, I think, this week. And then we have free agency. I'm sure some teams are going to make moves. So we got to have to see how things settle. So maybe in this segment, we could focus on the NFL. Just what are you guys looking at come this NFL season? I know there's a lot of protocol issues to be dealt with, but let's just really more focus on the teams itself, how teams have kind of stacked up. Maybe we'll start, Harris, with you on this. What are you expecting out of this NFL coming season?
Yeah, a lot of great questions for the NFL, just to keep it short and simple. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think like Tampa Bay brought back like majority of their starters, like 95% of
Oh
their
yeah.
starters.
Oh yeah.
So obviously the Buccaneers, especially with Breeze retired, I think the NFC South is theirs to win.
Mm-hmm.
No real competition in that. So I like the Bucks.
That division is horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the Bucks got that. I think they're looking good, and I'm just excited to see like what these other teams, like where Aaron Rodgers is going to end up. Obviously, see what if Aaron Rodgers leaves, I mean,
and Devontae Adams, apparently he's tied to it
for sure. Yeah, and if he leaves, then you got Justin Fields era in Chicago. Maybe they can make some damage in the NFC North.
So yeah, Chicago, really? Chicago.
But if you think about it, if Aaron Rodgers is gone, the division's wide open. Like Lions are garbage, Vikings are.
So it's a field goal post, but you can't even hit a 43 yards. So I don't know.
So I'm excited to see. Excited to see that, and just see what the Bucks can do, see what the Bears can do. NFC East, which was terrible last year with the Giants and
so is your kicker,
Cowboys, the Eagles and stuff. I'd like to see if that division can improve as well. So I think to answer your question, who do I like? I think I like the Bucks again, just bringing back their starters. Chiefs will be the Chiefs. They're always going to win those 12, 13 games with Mahomes.
And surprise team you have your surprise team is the Chicago Bears. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm
Chicago.
Chicago Bears.
You have a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Nick Foles. Start the man. You'll bring it to the promised land.
That's gonna be interesting, man. Your quarterback situation. I think that's the most important thing you have to figure out because without that, man.
I think you just got to throw in Fields though. Like, why wait? Like, at a certain point, you guys moved up in the draft to get him.
Yeah.
Like, why are you wasting Khalil Mack's prime on the defensive end? Like, start turning this offense so this defense can.
I don't know, man.
So
all the teams you like, I don't know, man. That's something with the teams you like. I don't know what's going on.
So that's my take. And and one last thing. Really excited to see Cam Newton because he's my favorite quarterback. I love Cam Newton, so I hope
redemption.
Hopefully
it's Mac Jones' team now. It's the Mac show. Let's be real.
It's the Mac show.
I hear throw 10 yards. Like Kenton can throw a freaking longer ball than Cam Newton. Like, let's be real. Cam Newton. Get that shit out of here.
Yo, Cam Newton has one more chance, man. He has one more chance.
He knows it. He said it. This is it's time to put up or
noodle arm like Peyton Manning.
This guy's
last
putting
year
slander on Newton's name.
But it wasn't fair last year. This guy wasn't given receivers, and he still took them to 7 and 9. So
he wasn't given receivers. He didn't have a full training camp. He's 1 year removed from a shoulder surgery. So I think a full training camp and a full year behind that surgery will
I would have just sat out.
Yeah. Well, I'll swing it to you here, Jelanie. 2022 predictions for the NFL season coming up. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually curious to see the NFC East. I want to see how Philly does with the new weapons that they got on offense. I want to see
Philly's special, huh?
Philly's special. Ezekiel Elliott, dropped a few pounds, so I want to see how he progresses in Dallas.
New look Zeke, yeah.
I want to see how Fitzpatrick leads the football team. Sorry, not even the Redskins, the football team. And then, of course, the Giants being the Giants, but that's another story. The Rams, especially with Stafford at quarterback, that's going to be, I want to see. I want to see how they're going to do with Stafford at quarterback. And other than that, not much really. Well, other than I want to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers and whatnot. So
there's a lot of trouble for Green Bay, man. What do you think? Training camp start next week, and he still hasn't even committed to it. And Devontae Adams apparently won't re-sign unless he knows whether Aaron Rodgers is staying. Like, Green Bay is going to look like a lottery.
You can't really blame him. I mean, Aaron's his guy at quarterback. You can't really blame the guy. I mean, with the stats he puts up, I mean, you can't really blame him.
Trust me, I would want to play with him too. But it's trouble. It's trouble in Green Bay, so we're gonna see how it plays out. I hear what you're saying. There's NFC East is interesting, but Green Bay.
I mean, that's why Alshon Jeffrey left Chicago, went to Philly, won a Super Bowl. But then again, I'm just saying, I'm just giving a classic example of, quarterback and receiver chemistry. So
yeah, I hear you on that. What do you think, Kenton? What do you think about the 2022 season?
To be honest with you, the only thing I really see happening, I think it's the Bucks. It's the Bucks' trophy or championship to lose this year. considering they brought back so many guys.
Mm.
You know, you have your usual suspects. You have the Kansas City Chiefs. You have Baltimore Ravens. You know what I mean? There's a lot of teams out there that are going to compete, but I really feel
Cleveland
like
Browns, yo. No one's talking about
Cleveland
the
Browns look good
Browns.
too.
Cleveland.
They look really good. They pretty much revamped the defense, and they're going to be they're definitely going to be a team to be reckoned with this year. But I mean, aside from that, I really feel like what it boils down to is it comes down to the Bucks and what they're willing to do, like how hot they're going to start the season. I think their strength of schedule is like number one or close to the top five in the league. Like, I mean, when you're playing in the NFC South, I mean, strength of schedule is pretty easy to begin with. But I mean, when you also factor in the other teams that they're looking to play, I mean, they're probably going to be a top team regardless. They're probably going to finish first in the NFC. That being said, I don't think there's anyone that can really get in front of them. So I think it's going to be the Bucs season to lose this year.
Yep, they might just run it back, and if Brady wins another one, you know, there's.
Did you guys see that video today where he's throwing into that? This guy's accurate.
The passing machine, he's defying time. And he has the weapons still with
real
him.
Though I was like, yo, is that real? But I mean, hey, maybe he took a few takes to get it. But that's pretty crazy though.
Yeah.
They had that commercial back in the day. I know that one for sure wasn't real. Where like I think it was like Chris. What's this guy's name? Guys were like catching the ball through drywall, and what's his name was catching the ball with like a ham sandwich.
Yeah, no, that was
that was obviously not real, but it was to say like you wouldn't be surprised. Like sometimes there's crazy plays that happen in the NFL, but it's just like though that was crazy. Tom Brady, who knows, man? Like Kenton said, probably just took a couple takes, get like 2-3 in a row, and make sure someone's recording it. Then you look like you're king of the world, kind of stuff. So
for sure. And this guy's been throwing footballs for 20 damn years. I think he's pretty good on accuracy. Yeah,
we'll see, man. It's Bucks running it back season. We'll see how that plays out. So. Ladies and gentlemen, that is almost concluding the episode number 10. We are now going to get into our speed round trivia, where each co-host, as always, will have their take to answer one of the 5 questions. So, gentlemen, we have 5 questions that are both NBA and NFL. These questions actually, as I'm looking at them, don't require an answer. It's more of just your opinion. So we won't actually need to have to dial in or anything. You guys could just speak your opinion as the question's answered, because they're all would you rather or this or that type questions. So to start the first question, I'm going to give you guys, I guess, regular 30 seconds to a minute to answer them. We'll go in order, and then we'll just flip it back from the last person back to the first, if that's cool with you guys. So first question in our speed round is what in your opinion was in the last 10 years the best NFL draft class? So the 3 draft classes that I've chose is the 01 draft class, which featured LaDainian Tomlinson, Drew Brees, Mike Vick, Mike Vick, Todd Heap, Chad Ochocinco. And then we have the 07 draft class, which featured Megatron, AP, Revis Island, Marshawn Lynch. And then we have the last but not least, the 2011 draft class, which had JJ Watt, Julio Jones, Cam Newton, your boy Jelanie, Cam Newton, Von Miller, and Pat Patterson. So I'll start with Harris on this. Harris, best draft class out of those 3 years, 01, 07, or 11?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to pass up the 01. Honestly, when you asked the question, I was thinking 01 because I didn't think you would nail the Breeze and the Mike Vick along with the
deadly.
So I mean, obviously Breeze had a great career, and Mike Vick too revolutionized the game. So many people started watching football because of him. So just to keep it short and simple, 01 I would say with Breeze. And then Mike Vick for what he did, and just a quick thing I want to touch point on like I saw like on Instagram, I just got excited because like I think I said it to Kenton too, like Mike Vick's 40 years old and this guy's running 40-yard dashes like
he could still play.
But that's what I'm saying. Like why is he coming back to Chi-Town to get these Bears back to the Browns? But I'm surprised he just has maybe like it's one thing to see it on camera, but I'm surprised like he hasn't attempted a comeback, or maybe just no one wants him. But this guy still looks like he's healthy, man. So, but yeah, I won't take up much time. Just that was it for my
01, and Mike Vick needs to make a return. I hear you on that. Yeah. We'll swing to Kenton next. Kenton, best draft class out of those 3, 01, 07, or 2011?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 0-1 just because Mike Vick has got drafted that year. You know what I mean? Mike Vick guy. But also, I mean, if you look at LT and Drew Brees and the other guys, Ocho Cinco, these guys are. I mean, at least LT's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Drew Brees is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Mike Vick, I'm sure when his time's up, he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I mean, his off field issues may
affect
get in the way of that. But I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer just because of the impact that he had on football in general. But aside from that, I think the 0-1 draft's definitely. I mean, you look at the talent that came out of there; it's definitely a was loaded draft, and I definitely go with the 0-1.
0-1, okay, got you on that. And Jelanie, will finish off with you. Best draft class: 0-1, 0-7, or 2011.
As much as I like the 0-1 draft because of Mike Vick, I'm gonna have to go with 0-7. You know, when you have a guy like, you know, Megatron, one of the best receivers in the game, Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs, Marshawn Lynch, Joe Thomas, one of the best offensive linemen. Like, you can't go wrong with these guys. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with 0-7.
Revis Island was great, man.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah. All right. Cool. I hear you guys on that. All right. Cool. So the next question on the trivia speed round is, so it's basically like a 2-part question. So there's one answer or another answer. So would you rather in the NFL? Would you rather be the best coach of all time and have a subpar quarterback? So he's never really performing, but you're the best coach of all time. You really hope that this quarterback will make it to fruition. Or would you rather have a legendary quarterback with the worst coach in the league? So does everyone understand the question? Best coach, okay quarterback, or the greatest quarterback, worst coach in the league?
But who are you though? Are you the coach though? Or are you the, like, who, from whose perspective are you?
No, I'm saying, like, are you, like, would you rather have as a GM, as an owner, would you rather say, I'll have the worst coach with the best quarterback, or the best coach with the worst quarterback? So Jelanie, I'll start with you. 1 minute. If you need more, go ahead. Start in now.
I would have the best coach with a subpar quarterback for the simple fact that I find you don't need to have an elite quarterback in order to win a championship, because if you have the best coach, right, in the NFL, you can make anybody look good. So I would go with the best coach.
Best coach, okay. No, it makes sense from a coach's perspective. But if you have somebody behind the scenes making sure everything is there, you could be a Milwaukee Bucks, like Kenton said, and just catch lucky. I don't know, but if you are a good coach, you could definitely make it work. So we'll swing to Kenton here now. Kenton, best coach, okay quarterback, or a legendary quarterback, worst coach of all time, worst coach of the league.
I think I'll have to go with legendary quarterback, worst coach of the league. Just because if you look at some, I mean, I'll give you some recent examples. Look at Tom Brady, goes to Tampa Bay, wins the Super Bowl. Bruce Arians wasn't sniffing a Super Bowl before Tom Brady got there. So I mean, let's look at that as an example. Look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid, he's a great coach. Not to take anything away from him, but until he got Patrick Mahomes, he didn't win a Super Bowl. So I mean, I think there's a correlation there, and I definitely think that the legendary, or at least a great quarterback, can sometimes overshadow and kind of cover up for a bad coach or subpar coach, or take them to that next level.
Got you. Cool. All right, cool. Nice take on that one. And Harris, we'll let you finish off this round. So Harris, you know the question: best coach, worst quarterback, or best quarterback, worst coach?
Yeah, I would go with legendary coach and subpar quarterback. Yeah, because I find with the coach, you're building a program like over the course and the culture over the 30, 40 years they can be in there. While quarterback, yeah, you might get like 10, 12 years from them, some dynamic, seasons, but it really starts with the coaching. If you have a legendary coach that people want to play for, then it makes a difference to attract talent and wanting to come there. So yeah, I would go with legendary coach. And if you have a good system in place, and you can get a quarterback who's not named Mitch Trubisky, then maybe you can do some
make some magic happen.
Yeah, no Jameis Winston, but yeah, that's how I go with it.
All right, awesome, cool. We'll swing to the next question here. Hasi, you'll start with this. So this one is a start, sit, or cut type question. So you're a owner, I guess, again, and you're you have the option to have these 3 players, but you could only choose 2 out of the 3. Basically, one is your starting, one is your backup, and then one you got to cut. So to lead your defensive unit, you have to either start, sit, or cut these three players: Brian Dawkins, Ed Reed, or Darrell Revis. Yeah, start him, sit him, or cut him. He's not on the team. Harris,
who's the third player?
Brian Dawkins, Ed Reed, Revis Island is the third.
Oh Lord.
So I'm starting Ed Reed. I'm benching Darrell Revis, and I'm cutting Dawkins. So just to like again, won't take as much time. But yeah,
coming from a Chicago fan.
Yeah, so Ed Reed, obviously greatest safety of all time, or one of the greatest. Yeah, this guy like 65 interceptions, I think, 2 of them returned for 100+ yards, ball hawk, and Revis, obviously, in my opinion, better than Richard Sherman in the cornerback debate. This guy lines up on both sides of the field, follows you in man coverage, as opposed to Sherman only lines up on the left side of the field and doesn't really follow you all over. Plays a lot of zone. So yeah, Revis is covering your best defender, and Dawkins. Listen, man, I back in the days, I like those.
Dawkins was a beast.
Yeah, from the '99 to the 05 when they were going to like 4 straight championship games. Dawkins was. But just the fact that you put those two ahead, I gotta go with that. I gotta start Reed, bench Revis, and cut Dawkins.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate your opinion. Kenton will swing it to you now. Brian Dawkins, I know, trust me, but hey, man, he had some good points to follow it. So it's like how he sees it. We'll see everyone's take. Sorry, Kenton. Brian Dawkins, Ed Reed, Darrell Revis. Your take.
I hate to say it because he's probably one of my favorites. He's probably my favorite personality, my favorite player overall of all of those 3 choices. But I'm gonna have to agree with Harris. I'm gonna start Ed Reed. I'm gonna bench Darrell Revis, and I'm gonna have to cut Brian Dawkins. And the reason is simple. Ed Reed was a playmaker. Everywhere the ball was, Ed Reed was there. If it wasn't an interception, he was making a play. He was making a defensive play.
Philly haters, we expect.
Darrell Revis. If you put him on any receiver, and that receiver couldn't do anything. And wide receivers will tell you that Darrell Revis was the hardest player.
Don't forget Revis Island, man.
Exactly,
dangerous.
He was the hardest player to go up against. That's what everyone says that played in that time. When he was a New York Jet, and then even in New England Patriots, they always used to say that Ed Reed was the best cover corner in the NFL. Like literally, you put him on any player, that player's not having a big game. And then to take away one side of the field like that, you got to give him his respect. That's like the next. There's only him and Deion Sanders that really could have done that in their primes. So I have to go with Darrell Revis on the bench, and I'm going to have to cut Brian Dawkins. And the simple fact for cutting Brian Dawkins is although he's my favorite of the 3 in terms of personality, what he brought to the field, his energy. I love the guy, his energy.
Yeah, he's like a Ray Lewis type energy.
But
exactly. But he was not good at coverage. He was not a coverage player. He was a liability if he had to line up in front of somebody. So at that point, I love the hits. He used to lay people out, no question about it, man. Send them on a stretcher, whatever it was. But if you asked him to cover somebody, he wasn't the best out of those 3. He was the bottom. He's the least of those 3. So that's why I have to put him there because I'm looking for somebody who can do everything. If I'm going to put you on,
if it's to lead your defense, exactly.
You got to be able to do everything. You got to be able to cover a court. You got to be able to cover a player. You got to play cover 1. You got to be able to man up. You got to be able to play a zone. Ed Reed could do that. Darrell Revis could do that. Darrell Revis, if I told him to shut down one player, that player wasn't doing anything. That player was not having a big game that game. So I can't put those guys behind Brian Dawkins who couldn't cover a wide receiver. So that's what it is.
Good take on that. And Jelanie will finish off here. Dawkins, Ed Reed, or Revis Island. What do you take?
Okay, so first, 3 great players, 3 Hall of Famers.
But before you start,
if I had to start one of them,
before you start, you just gotta let the people know that you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Now continue.
It has nothing to do with being a Philadelphia Eagles fan. But thank you for reminding me of who's my favorite football team, Kenton. Thank you very much. By the way, you don't have a football team.
Right.
Anyways,
I'm letting the viewers know.
Let the viewers know whatever you want. You can let them know whatever you want.
Myself,
you don't. You're just NFL logo. Your NFL logo.
Unbiased opinion, so I can speak. I can speak
freely. Freedom of speech.
Exactly.
It's America. Congratulations. Now, so
Canada over here.
Your question, Mr. Ant Green. Question: Start, bench, cut. So I'm going to start Brian Dawkins. And no, not because of the fact that I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Let's hear him out.
Because of his hard-hitting style. I love the hard-hitting, especially that one hit he put on Mike Vick in the 04 NFC Conference Championship game. Even Vick said it, like, yo, that was like the worst hit I ever took in my life.
Yeah.
He also reminds me of a guy like Malcolm Jenkins, who used to play for Philly. It's just his hard-hitting style, his leadership, on the field and whatnot. So I'm going with Dawkins, number one.
It would help, basically, if you had him to lead your team, it would help your overall defense having a player like that.
Yeah, because you're not going to want a receiver
starting. Okay,
exactly. You don't want to have a receiver in the open and he's going to get that hit. So some guys might be scared to,
But you see, the reason why he was getting all those.
Excuse me. I didn't overstep. Your time is done now. This is wrestling now. My promo now, okay? My promo. So shut your mouth and know your role. Now, bench. I'm gonna bench Ed Reed because
this guy.
I don't know, like out of the two, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to bench Ed Reed. And I'm cutting Revis Island because Revis Island was not one of the best corners. In my opinion, I can name 10 other corners, which I won't, because that's not the question. So that's my start, that's my bench, and that's my coupe cut.
But didn't you forget Ed Reed returned 108 yard interception return against the Eagles?
Hey, listen, you're a Chicago Bears fan. You have no valid opinion whatsoever. It's invalid. Incomplete.
Oh gosh, don't kill me.
Bench Ed Reed. This guy, man, forgets that.
Hey man, that's the thing, right?
If you're gonna come in here and say maybe it's tough to answer because you're comparing like a cornerback with safeties and it's not the same thing.
Exactly.
But at the same time, Brian Dawkins, the reason why he got them hits is because he wasn't covering nobody. He was just attacking the ball.
It's his leadership.
Why?
He was a leader.
Because he wasn't stopping anybody from getting it.
Okay, so NFL logo.
Go ahead.
He was one of the best defensive players.
All right.
In the history of the NFL.
Nah, good takes, guys.
I'm not arguing that, but he's not better than those two.
Hey, but that's your opinion. Hey, as Judge Judy says, it's your opinion. But only mine counts. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, it is what it is.
But your opinion is an insult to the NFL fans. No, but anyways, yeah.
You say LeBron's better than Jordan. That's an insult, but we're not talking about that.
No, I've never once.
Anyways, next question, please.
But if you watch all 10 episodes, I've never once said LeBron is better than Jordan. Just so you remember that. I've never once said it. So continue. Sorry, go ahead, Jelanie.
The next question is another start-sit question, but we're going to flip over to the NBA.
Oh, yes. I hope it's what I want. I really hope.
I put these guys in because I believe that they're probably top 5 NBA players. Relatively same position, relatively same size. So it's most likely a good question. So Jelanie, we'll start with you. It might be swayed, but we're going to start with you anyway. Start, sit, cut. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, or Giannis Antetokounmpo. All of them now in their maybe not LeBron now because he's injured, but those are your 3.
But I think Kenton needs to state for the record that Jelanie is a LeBron hater. Go ahead.
Hey man, it is what it is. You wanted to start with me, so do I have the floor now?
You're starting. Go right ahead.
All right, so let's see. Who would I start? Well, to be honest with you, look, out of the 3, I'm not going to start Giannis for the simple fact that he can't shoot. He's not a complete player to me. So, as from a coach's perspective, he's not a guy I'm going to start on my team if I have those other two on my roster. So, which leaves to who would I start out of the 2? Durant or LeBron? Let's see. Well, both players could shoot. Both players could lead a team. But ultimately, I think I'm going to have to go with Kevin Durant. I'm going to go with Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant is a better shooter. He's a better leader on and off the court. Mm-hmm. And in clutch moments, I'm sorry, it's my turn to speak. Hey, LA. Sorry. Phoenix in 6, okay? Phoenix in 6. Sure. He can lead on and off the court. He can shoot. He can play all 5 positions. He doesn't complain. And unlike LeBum, I believe there was a game where he played 48 minutes. I think it was against Milwaukee or It was one game that he played all 48 minutes.
Yeah,
I can't say the same for LeBron because LeBron likes to take time off. He flops. He bitches. Okay. And he has more chemistry with the referees than his own teammates. So, which leads to bench. So I'm benching Giannis and I'm cutting LeBron. And that is my take.
And that is
Mr. Agree.
Hot take.
Hot take. Of course. We had to flip it to the NBA.
Alert.
Barbecue chicken alert.
Barbecue chicken
That's
alert.
what it is. Kenton will swing it over. We'll swing it to you. Start, sit, cut. LeBron, KD, or Giannis?
For me, it's very simple. I'm starting LeBron, benching KD, and I'm gonna have to cut Giannis. Great player, but he's just not good. Better than those two. That's what it comes down to.
I think you bench KD.
Jeez. All right. Simple as easy sometimes. I guess that adds up.
48 minutes. Has LeBron ever played 48 minutes in a game?
I'll answer that in my next take. Yeah.
Oh, no. That's not your take. No, Mr. Lowe, I'm asking you.
He's actually played more minutes in a single game. But
has he played 48 minutes in a basketball game?
Yeah, like I said,
he's played more than 48 minutes in a basketball game.
When I'm.
He's played more. He's played more than 48 minutes in a single basketball game.
Yeah.
LeBron has some kilometers on his legs.
No, you're right. It's your opinion. I apologize.
Hey, man. All right, so we got you, Kenton. LeBron, KD, Giannis is cut, even though he's a champ. Crazy, but everyone's champs there. Harris, will swing it to you. LeBron, KD, Giannis. Start, sit, cut.
Oh. So I'm starting LeBron, sitting Giannis, and cutting KD.
Six.
Yeah, and Jelanie saying that KD's a leader. Haven't seen him lead in Golden State. Didn't see it in OKC. Certainly didn't see it today against France. So I'm not sure exactly what he's leading.
At least he's there. Where's LeBron?
Yeah, and it's funny. I think Jelanie forgets first.
LeBron's showing at home in his gold medals.
But I mean,
he's probably making calls too. Anyway,
but Jelanie's forgetting, Ed Reed, what he did to the Eagles.
This is not the question. Answer the question.
But now you're forgetting. But you're forgetting that. But you're forgetting that LeBron 2018 Game 7 on the road in Boston went 48 minutes.
Last time I checked, this is 2020 when this guy's talking about 3 years ago.
So you forgot that. You also forgot
the Matrix. Bro, get with the program. It's 2021.
And then Kenton touched on.
Why you talking about the past?
Playing more than 48 minutes. You're talking Game 1 against the Golden State Finals, 50 piece, played overtime, 53 minutes. Did you forget that or?
Anyways, Phoenix in 6. Sweep on next.
So you forgot
Phoenix in 6. Sweep on next.
Perfect. And just so you know,
no. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm gonna imitate Kenton. Off in the first round, just like he said about the Utah Jazz. Phoenix in 6.
Yeah,
and that's your guy. You're gonna start a guy that can't lead a team past the first round.
Can I finish?
No. But you started something, so I have a bit of a rebuttal. So I'm giving you a rebuttal. Okay. So the rebuttal is that he couldn't lead past a team that had inexperienced players in the first round. So what does that tell you?
Who couldn't do that?
LeBron.
But in 07, this guy took a team to the finals. What do you mean he can't lead?
I'm talking about 07. I'm talking about 21. Oh, Lord Jesus.
But the man went to 10 straight finals, man.
Yeah, Jelanie, I mean, with all due respect, the argument's got
first round. Like this is he's been to the finals more times than he's been knocked out in the first round. KD
is 31. All respect, off an Achilles, playing 48 minutes.
He's going to take over in coming years.
Listen, KD's 31 years old, played 48 minutes. LeBron played at age 34, 53 minutes. And so I'm not sure where the comparison is with that, but just getting back to the thing, I'm benching KD cutting him just for the sake of where they are at the stage in the career, and starting LeBron.
Wow.
And benching Giannis. So that's it. I think.
Wow. If I was Giannis, I'd slap the shit out of you, man.
No, I'm not cutting him. I'm benching him.
He's got
the shit out of you. It's like, I just won a championship. You're gonna bench me. I'd slap the shit out of you.
Nah, Giannis with those two, it's you're looking at who's going to be.
Though.
It's tough because you have to take in it's someone's opinion, so they're looking at it from what they've seen from those players and what their likeness is of those players. Giannis, you can't take away what he's done. It's just like, to bench him, at least you didn't cut him, knowing that at least he could still do something for you. He's still dominant in how he plays, and he's only getting better. He's very young. I think 26, 27 years old.
And then don't forget, LeBron is 36. So like when Jelenie's asking why he didn't play 48 minutes, the guy has a broken ankle and he's 36 years old. Like
so retire. You have nothing left to prove. Retire now. Oh, why, you still have your dignity. Why not just retire? But no, he's not going to do that because you know what he's going to do right in the offseason. He's going to, like you said, exactly what you said. He's going to make the calls to make another super team. No, it's not. It's not what you said. That's what you said, right, Harris?
Yeah. Because your boy Kevin Durant has one.
I'm not saying that Durant didn't do it. Durant was wrong for going to Golden State, and he was
getting a 36-year-old Chris Paul is not super team, and a 37-year-old Melo ain't no super team, man. But
why do you need those two? Why?
Because Kuzma is a ham sandwich. He's irrelevant.
Kuzma.
No, I'll give him that.
Kuzma is Shinoy's 2:00 in the morning smoke meat. It's like it might be a hit, but most likely not.
He's right.
Sure. But anyways, just like to keep it moving. So that's my take on that. So we'll
all right. Cool.
You see what you started, Rahshawn? You see what you started?
Yo, man, I'm trying to get the best out of you guys, and these answers is coming that way. So we got two more left. Very simple, guys. The last one's kind of jokes, but we're gonna go with this one. NBA now. You are to start a franchise with these three players. Both of these three players are all under the age of 23, I believe.
Oh,
okay. You have a chance to choose one of the three: Jason Tatum, Luka Magic, or Zion Williamson. We'll start with Harris on this. To start a franchise, Tatum, Luka, or Zion Williamson. Harris, you got a minute.
Yeah, I'll keep it very short. I'm going to take Jason Tatum, just for a quick reason. Zion, just inconsistency with the injuries. And Luka, from what I'm hearing so far, is that his teammates aren't really happy playing with them. Like there's been some rumbling about it. So yeah, I'm going to say Jason Tatum. I would start my franchise if I gave
franchise. That can't go wrong with that. He's been proving his worth so far.
Yeah.
Kenton will swing it to you. You could choose one of the three players: Tatum, Luka, or Zion. Who you got?
Yeah, if it wasn't for the off-court issues, I mean, with his teammates in the locker room and whatnot, with Luka Doncic, I'd go with him. But I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Jason Tatum. He's a great player. He's improved every year. He's going to be one of the top guys pretty soon, I feel. So I think I'm going to go with Jason Tatum on this one.
All right, awesome. Appreciate that. And Jelanie,
there is a gun
with you. Tatum.
You already know who I'm going to say. You already know. But I'm going to have to go with Jason Tatum. If you want my answer, Jason Tatum.
Got you. Yeah, no, honestly, out of the three, Zion, he's like a Dominique Wilkins. He's like always looking for the highlights, and he has like brute force. But does he have the full package? Yeah, and injuries, he's very prone to it. So,
and the Zion complaining that he wants out. Like, what do you want out? You've been there for 2 years, man. Like, who are you?
Is he still on a rookie contract? No.
Yeah, like how like
he lacks. And also, maybe it's because he's young, but I find he lacks leadership. Like he's not like I don't feel like he's that leader of that team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a highlight. Yeah. What's up?
But sorry, I know this is. Wait, you have another one after this?
I have one last one, but go ahead.
Okay. No, I'll save it for after. Go.
All right. So the last question. Oh, wait, did everybody answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And we finished with Jelanie, right? Last question.
What about you? Who would you start? Let's reverse it and ask you the same question.
You know what? I think Tatum seems like the most reasonable answer. I probably would end up going with Tatum, to be honest, because size. No, like right now, what he's proving, like on Boston, bro, he's pretty much able to get 50 pieces, 40 pieces. He can get his numbers. They just need to build a team around him because he is a franchise player. The only other person I would choose if it wasn't Tatum would be Luka, because he's, I think, probably not the youngest. Zion's the youngest, but like, man, Luka's talent, he's kind of like a Larry Bird in a sense because he could hit the three. He's not super athletic. He could beat guys off the dribble. And, sometimes they have to put guys like LeBron and like elite defenders on him. But I would go Tatum, but otherwise it would be Luka. All right, cool. So look, last question, guys. Harris, we're going to go Harris, Kenton. Oh, no, sorry, Jelanie. Wait, who did we finish off with? Who was the last person here? I think it was Harris, no?
I can't remember, to be honest.
All right. So Harris, we'll just start with you. So to win the game, an NBA game, you have
LeBron.
Shaquille O'Neal at the foul line
Yeah.
to shoot
Oh,
a
Lord.
foul shot, or Ben Simmons takes the last second jumper.
Oh,
One of the two.
dude, man. Put it in.
My
That's not even a question.
Oh my God.
You subbing
the hell
LeBron
is
so bad and
this?
get him in the game.
Who would you choose, man?
No,
It's just
listen.
to know what you would
Yeah.
go down with.
Shaq, because Shaq said when it matters, I nail them. When they count, I hit them. So I'm taking Shaq every day of the week, man.
Okay, Shaq's
Nope.
your answer. Kenton, we'll go with you. Who would you choose, Shaq or Ben Simmons jumper?
So honestly, this guy Ben Simmons. I'll keep it simple. This guy literally is passing up open layups and open dunks because he's afraid of the moment. Give it to Shaq, please.
Shaq
For Shaq.
at the line.
Yeah.
Jelanie Shaq.
Shaq would
Shaq
call in
at
the
the
National Guard
line.
and bring in LeBron.
Oh yeah.
Don't
All
forget
right.
the National Guard, Jelani, man. It's always waiting.
Hey man, you
National
ruined the
Guard,
joke,
man.
man. I stopped that now.
Nah, it's
But
all good, yo.
I hear you.
I was just trying to throw in a little humor there. I was hoping maybe someone thought that, hey, Ben Simmons will eventually get some kind of jump shot. I think Giannis might even develop a better jump shot than Ben Simmons, like a turnaround. But
and Giannis,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I don't
Giannis
know.
is already there. He's already there.
like, he's already shooting
He's
them.
already
He's got the
there.
confidence. Only going to get better.
Mhm.
But speaking
Shot
of
97% in Game 6 from the line.
Oh, you're talking about free
Speaking
throws.
of,
Sorry, I thought. Yeah.
but speaking of leadership, I know this is off topic, but and the National Guard. What the hell is wrong with Team USA, man? Like they need help.
You know what? I think with Team
They don't have a
USA
leader.
What the hell is going on?
They don't have a leader. That's what it really is. There's no one to like seize
You
the
have
moment.
Popovich.
No, but I'm saying as a
Popovich
player,
makes
there's no one.
everybody look good.
There's no
What
one
the
there
hell is
that
going on?
everyone's looking up to. Like there's no Kobe. There's no LeBron. I mean, but that's the thing. Like right
You have
now,
Durant.
no, but Durant, like, look, it's already awkward. This guy's beefing with Adebayo over like the layup ball. Like, you know, him and Draymond Green already have like a weird
Yeah.
relationship. So like it's just like people are not looking up to KD. It's been weird. And also like the way the international game is played, the refs are not giving them the calls. So they're having a hard time adjusting to it too, man. But I still think maybe like they'll probably make it to group play and qualify for a medal. But yeah, there's no one really to
This
look
is
up to.
crazy.
I didn't see KD today when I watched the whole game. I'm not seeing him on the bench clapping, like getting the team rallied up, like you know, there's no energy that's lacking.
Yeah.
Missing
Where's
Melo.
Canada?
Missing Melo.
Canada didn't make it, man. They lost. Iran made it, and Canada doesn't make basketball.
Iran. Wow.
Canada is an insult to basketball. Man.
So that's another topic for next season.
We gotta
Can
work on it.
Canada just invest more in basketball?
Right.
No, you
need to tell
Canadian
it.
sports.
Jelani, you need to get involved in Canada basketball and make them great again, man. Because this is embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm gonna boot Triano, man. This guy didn't even give me an autograph.
Yeah.
Just slap the shit out of him,
man.
man.
Coach Thomas is going to need to step in there and get things going here.
You guys remember what happened when I tried to get an autograph from Jay Triano? I should backhand
This
him.
guy's a bum, man.
I should have
Yeah,
backhanded him.
Triano. Nah, it was good, guys. It's good. We'll see what that happens for season 2. But ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want to give the co-hosts. A few minutes to sign off with you guys. Let them know, they're going to give you some takes in terms of what they're doing. Make sure to check them out, man, because it's been a blast being able to reconnect with everybody, get some funny jokes out of it, and really good sports conversation. So, Harris, I'll let you kind of take your closing statement and tell the people what you want to say.
For sure. Well, once again, thanks, Mr. Greenheart, for having me on the show. Had a great season.
Sir.
Thanks to Kenton. Thanks to Jelani for a great, talk of sports. For me individually, I've been talking about it all year. You guys can check me out on social media, Instagram. That's hashtag HQ Meals. Down below, you check it out when you guys are watching the podcast. Homemade samosas. Feel free to drop in an order. Beef, vegetarian. It's been going well. And just support if you guys everyone likes a good Indian snack. So if you're looking for some samosas, give me a shout out. And you know what? I'm going to throw it out there for people on the show. If you want to give me an order, just mention the Ann Green Show, and I'll make sure to give you a discount off your order as well.
Yes,
so
sir.
make sure to check that out. But again, thanks for having me, and looking forward to coming back next season for it.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate that, Harris. Make sure, guys, to check that out. Ask for the promo code. Say that Harris sent you, and we'll make sure that you're hooked up. Kenton, we'll swing it to you, man. Give you a few minutes for a closing statement and let the people know what's up.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, again, I mean, it's been a great season. You know what I mean? Thanks to the co-host. Thank you, Rahshawn, for having us, and Jelanie and Harris as well. It's been a great season. You can find me at Loki Talks on Twitter. Kind of my name down there. So yeah, it's the same way it's spelled down at the bottom here. You can find me on Twitter if you ever want to, reach out to me or see what I'm doing. And aside from that, hopefully we'll be back for a season 2. And until then, I'm signing off, and everyone have a good one.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate having you on board. Had some good takes from you as well. And last but not least, J Money, let the people know what's up as a salutation closing statement.
Yeah, I just want to say it's been a pleasure. My first time doing a podcast. It's been great, especially the co-host and of course Mr. Greenheart. It's been a wonderful experience, and like I said, look forward to next season. You can follow me at on IG at Jashawn88 and on Facebook at Jashawn Thomas. I'm also doing. I started my own basketball training. I train kids that have little to zero experience or kids that have that want to work on a specific skill. So I started doing that, and I've got at least around 20 kids I've already signed up. So it's only going to get bigger and better from here. Working on a logo and whatnot, and merchandise, hats, T-shirts. So it's getting big, man. So sky's the limit, and my future is bright. So I just look forward to everything. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, man. And please, guys, make sure to check that out for kids wanting to get into some training. Jelanie's been coaching for quite some time now. And as he's getting started now, it's only going to get bigger and better, but you're going to be able to get a lot more personal one-on-one time as it's still building up with Jelanie. So make sure to check out what he's doing. You know what I mean? And as always, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I really had fun. I would have loved to have done this in person because I think the energy would have just been so strong. But I mean, during the time that this was the next best thing. So I'm happy that we were actually able to do it nonetheless. And yeah, as always, guys, if you're not doing it, please make sure to follow The Ant Green Show. There's also going to be some cool surprises coming up. We're going to have some little one-offs here and there. Going into all the other sports seasons and whatnot. But yeah, make sure to follow the Ant Green Show, like, share, and comment, subscribe. And till next time, I guess we'll make sure to bring back some great takes for you guys and some highlight videos. But we will look forward to a following season and following one-off episodes. So until then, thank you everybody for tuning in. Signing out for now. Peace.